Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with news from Trinidad and Tobago. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.1 rattled Trinidad on Monday, but there were no immediate reports of injuries or damage. The German Research Center for Geosciences said it occurred at 12:16 p.m. local time off the coast of Venezuela and was felt 90 kilometers west of Port of Spain and 116 kilometers of Arima. It had a depth of 93 kilometers. The earthquake was also reportedly felt 162 kilometers southwest of St. George's in Grenada. 1 week ago, the country was rattled by an earthquake with a magnitude of 4.0, according to the Seismic Research Center of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. We now turn our attention to St. Lucia. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, issued a Level 4 travel health notice for St. Lucia due to COVID-19, indicating a very high level of COVID-19 in the country. Tourists are advised against traveling to St. Lucia due to the high rate of COVID-19 on the island. The advisory said, avoid travel to St. Lucia. If you must travel to St. Lucia, make sure you are fully vaccinated before travel. Because of the current situation in St. Lucia, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants. The advisory was updated on August 30, 2021. St. Lucia is currently experiencing a fourth wave of the virus for the first time, also dealing with the confirmed presence of the more contagious Delta variant on island, forcing the government to tighten COVID-19 protocols, including imposing stricter curfews. We now turn our attention to neighboring Suriname. A Suriname court-martial has affirmed the 20-year sentence against Suriname's former president, Desi Bouterse, over the 1982 December murders, and he now has 14 days in which he can appeal. The judges upheld the sentence that Bouterse was handed in 2019 for the murders of 15 opponents to his military regime, the report said. Because Bouterse was never present during that trial, he was sentenced in his absence. He then filed an objection, forcing the court-martial to reconsider the case. Bouterse remained free after his conviction in 2019. He was allowed to await the handling of his objection while free. It was not discussed during the session whether Bouterse will be arrested now that the court-martial has upheld the decision. The conviction itself is not yet final, as Bouterse's lawyer has 14 days to appeal and has already said that he will do so. The military magistrate who served as prosecutor can also object to the conviction in the next 2 weeks. Bouterse led a military regime in the 1980s. And finally, the Taliban reveled in their victory after the American withdrawal from Afghanistan, reiterating their pledge Tuesday to bring peace and security to the country after decades of war. Thousands who had worked with the U.S. and its allies, as well as up to 200 Americans, remained in the country after the massive airlift ended, with the last U.S. soldiers flying out of Kabul International Airport just before midnight Monday. Hours later, Taliban leaders, flanked by fighters from the group's elite battery unit, toured the abandoned airport and posed for photos. A long-running economic crisis has worsened since the Taliban's rapid takeover of the country in mid-August, with people crowding banks to maximize their daily withdrawal limit of about $200. Civil servants haven't been paid in months, and the local currency is losing value. Most of Afghanistan's foreign reserves are held abroad and currently frozen. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining. Good night.